Hey guys!
Hello. Anomalous Treasures here to talk to you about our top 5s of 2019.
Our top 5 mistakes.
Our top 5 sales.
Our top 5 categories.
And our top 5 tips. Yeah! It's gonna be a good video.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh god, the mistakes though. That
Yeah,
happens.
we're gonna make a blooper reel.
We still make mistakes.
We should make at least one blooper reel. You want to?
Yeah.
Yes. So, first mistake.
Keeping up with taxes.
Keeping up with taxes. Taxes suck, but they're very important.
Yeah, just keep up with what your state requires for state taxes, and then you have to do your federal taxes. You can do them quarterly or yearly. It's always good to at least report your income, but if you're making under 600, like if you're just doing this part-time, you don't really have to report it, but we're not certified CPAs, so you should definitely check in with a CPA if you want to be sure about what you should do.
It's true. And eBay only actually reports your income if you make over $20,000 in a year. Mm-hmm. Now, we are not CPAs. This is just stuff that we know, and we are just sharing with you.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend, if you wanted try to keep up with everything, get a QuickBooks account. It helps track your mileage. If you're doing anything driving wise to go pick up something for your business, you can write that off. And you can take pictures and report your receipts in there to write that off. You can keep up with all your sales. So it's really good. We'll put the link down in the comments if you want to try to check it out. You do have to pay for it monthly, though.
It's all very, very solid.
But it's worth it.
No,
it's
QuickBooks is great.
It helps.
It really is great.
It can link up with your PayPal and help you keep track with everything.
Also, you can write off the whole QuickBooks subscription. You really can. So I think that covers taxes.
Mm-hmm. Number
2, having one account for your business.
Yeah, we had that problem for a while.
Because we started off as 2 separate, individuals doing the same thing, and we messed up.
Well, what we did was, the eBay account that we're using was originally Matthew's, and he was selling all of his personal stuff on there, and we decided to start working together. So we made our own business account. So we started using that instead of his. So we tried to change it over on our eBay to the new PayPal account. But when things were selling, it would go to his old PayPal. So that was a really big headache. Just try not to do that. But that's what we did. That was a mistake that we did. I don't think it's a very common mistake to happen for most people, but it is something that we did, and it was a headache. But now we're good now. It's over now, but that was a thing.
No, and it's an easy thing to get into. If you use your debit purchase for gas for driving to pick up stuff at a thrift store, use your business account. Because if you do that, it takes a lot of work to separate your personal from your business. It's a horrible pain. We just went through it. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. One account. Okay.
All right, number 3. Losing money on shipping.
We've lost a lot of money on shipping. It's very easy to do. You think something weighs something, and you're wrong.
Yeah, always make
Horribly
sure.
Wrong.
Unless, it's easier if you have a niche and you know the general, area of how much everything is weighed at. Clothes. Clothes are mostly weighed at the same, besides jackets and, I'm pretty sure just jackets because they're all different weights. But, jeans are pretty much the same. They're about a pound and 2 ounces. Yeah. And then shirts are always less than a pound.
But, a pound and 2 ounces matters. As is 15 ounces to a pound and 2 ounces, the shipping goes up $5.
Yeah, it could be up to 5. Depending on how far it goes.
Oh, yeah, true. Depending on how far it goes. But normally it'll go up to $5. I would definitely think that if you are listing things, you should have a scale next to you and then just place it on there. And that way, when you do calculated shipping, you'll know you're right. Sometimes we do calculate, sometimes we do free. When we do free shipping, we always incorporate what the shipping should cost us. And
in the total, yeah.
In the total. So make sure you double check what your weight is. Also, make sure you have a box that's going to fit. Because sometimes we'll, just measure the actual item and we'll think that, okay, we're going to find a box that's going to fit this item specifically. And so it's the dimensions for that shipping will include that cost. If that made sense. I hope it did.
And if you don't feel like dealing with it, you can just charge for flat rate shipping. because USPS offers free flat rate boxes.
It's true. I love flat rate boxes. They're amazing. But yeah, just make sure that you know what box you're shipping it in, because if you have a 12-inch item, but you only have a 16-inch item, that a 16-inch box that fits that item, those 4 extra inches are going to matter. And they're going to cost you a lot of money over time.
Yeah. Our biggest problem with shipping was, like, it was because we didn't do that, where we didn't weigh it and it was heavier than we thought it was, and it costed like basically the total of what we sold it for. It happens, and it's okay. I mean, as long as you don't do it again, it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, we still make that
You're
mistake.
gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes ever.
Number 4,
dealing with scammers.
we've dealt with one so far.
We've dealt with a few. One just got away with it.
One got like it was obvious for one. What was the other one?
There's a few.
Which
There's a
ones?
few. There's just so scammers can like vary. I would say we got hit with like 4 or 5 scammers.
Really, I did not know that.
So most of them are easy. Like some of them will just be like, "Hey, if you ship this item to me, I'll pay you through a money order."
Oh,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Or that I thought like one that went through. That we
No.
dealt with.
Only one actually only worked.
Yeah.
One worked, but he did good. He got $179 out of us. That hurt. It hurt a lot. But that was the only one.
Yeah,
The
you were
only
so
one.
mad about that.
After that, I was pissed. Anybody that looked even a little bit like a scammer, I was just like going through the roof on them. Yeah, scammers, you really need to be careful about. If anybody says anything a little weird, honestly, my policy is I act like they're a scammer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not rude. I'm always professional when I talk to anybody over eBay. But if somebody says something weird, then I reply back, and I'll let it be known that, like, so for instance, this one gentleman, he was saying how the item was missing parts or something like that, and I believe that the item wasn't missing any parts at all. So I thought this guy was trying to scam us. So I was like, that's fine. You can return the shipping, still let it go. But I was like, but I want you to know that that's what it was. I remember. This guy, he was getting an item shipped to him, and it said on the shipping, he was like, hey, I still haven't gotten my package. And on the USPS, it says it was in transit for delivery. Now, it was weird because it kept saying that day after day after day after day after day. So he was like, I'll ship it back, but I need a full refund. Oh yeah, no. I just ended up giving him a full refund. But he did ship it back, so he just didn't turn out to be a scammer.
No, he wasn't. I remember that.
I do.
He just never got his order.
No.
I think it's just because like people live in like really weird areas that are hard to find where they live, like just like very forested areas,
and
probably.
wooded, and they just have a hard time getting there.
Which they should know. They shouldn't like blame us for like their package not arriving. They should just blame where they live.
That's true.
But it's okay. It happens. Like sometimes people just can't find your house, and it's not always your fault or their fault. It just happens.
Some quick ways to deal with scammers. Set your return if you're really nervous about it. Set your return policy to buyer pays for shipping. That kind of knocks a lot of them away. Also, feel free to say that when they do return the shipping, let them know that there will be a postal investigator there, and you'll have your camcorder ready to like make sure that the item is exactly how they got it. You don't necessarily need to have any of those things, but if somebody's trying to scam you, they're gonna stop. And that's actually worked. I've messaged somebody and they stopped messaging me and they left the whole case alone.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The guy that did get through, though, he messaged us about a toaster oven. And he was like, yeah, my son wants this, and he really wants it, so could you do me a deal for like $40 for this? And Matthew was like, oh, okay, like, like your son really wants it, and, he said he was like autistic or something.
Yes, he
and
did
that was
say
like
he was autistic.
he wrote like a whole thing about it, and like he really wanted to help him out. But he ended up, like, he told him to send him an offer for it, and he'll accept it. But he never did, so we decided just to bid it off, like, on an auction like we were originally going to do. And he ended up bidding on it with other people, this one guy. And then he paid for it, we shipped it. Then he messaged us, and he was like, I would like my money that we agreed upon. Like, we agreed $40, it's $170. I need my $130.
That was the thing. This $40 thing that I was going to sell it to him for was actually worth $179.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. I'm
And
sorry.
then-
If he had sent me an offer and I would have accepted the offer and then we would have shipped it, everything would have been good.
And then he did all this, and then he was like, I want to return it, it doesn't work. Like, he's not happy with it or whatever. And then so he sent it back in the same box, but it was a different oven.
I was pissed. I was so mad.
And
it was broken. The oven was broken.
The oven that he did send us was broken, but it wasn't the original one. Yeah, and so we had to report that, and he won the case of it, like, being right.
He did, because I opened up the box. So if you ever feel like something like that is happening, like really, like somebody is scamming you and they are sending in a package, do get the postal investigator. Get it shipped to the post office, not to your house. Get a camcorder, and that way when it opens, you know, it'll be known that, hey, this is not the same item. I messed up because I knew something was wrong, and I had a momentary lapse of judgment and went ahead and opened it, which I should not have done.
If it was something small, like maybe like a $5 thing, I don't think it would have been a big deal. But if it is an expensive item and it's getting returned this way, you should definitely try to, like, make it worth your time to get it back the correct way, just in case this happens. It sucks that this has to happen, but it happens.
It happens less the longer you do it. When you're first starting out, it's going to happen at least once a month.
They target people who just start out.
They see the low ratings, and they're just like, ooh, this person only has 7 ratings on their profile. Let's get some money, or let's get something out of this.
They don't know what they're doing, you know, like...
Some are really easy. Some are, like, funny. Like the money order guy. I've got most of them are like that. Most of them are just stupid. And
majority of them, the ones who buy from you, don't have any reviews. Like, if people have a lot of reviews, then they're good most of the time. I don't think we've ever had any problems with people with multiple reviews.
No. And when we say multiple, I mean, like, maybe 4 or more. Anybody that's ever tried to do anything has either had 0 or 2.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between there. And you can actually change that in your eBay, in your eBay policy, not letting people with 0 reviews bid on your auctions. So that is actually what, in both of our profiles, we have that, because we just, you know, it kind of stinks, but all they have to do is just buy something.
Yeah, I would say just play around with your eBay account to see what all you can change to make sure it's, like, secure.
Definitely.
All right, number 5. Staying organized with inventory. We're really bad at that. Well, we were bad at that at first. We still lose things. I don't know, it just happens. We blank out. It doesn't go in the bin that it's supposed to go in. But do whatever works best for you that you think would, like, keep up with all your stuff pretty easily. Like, you can put everything in one dresser. If you're doing clothes, you put everything in organized bins, label them like 1, 2, 3. You can go ahead and package them all if you want to. But, I mean, I wouldn't recommend that because that's just a waste of things if you don't sell it. Just whatever works for you, just try to stay organized, because losing things sucks.
I would say, on top of organized, stay consistent. Because I feel like a lot of the reasons why we do end up losing things is because we're kind of in a hurry. Because, you know, what we do is we put our letter of the bin, the letter number, like D1, B2, or whatever, we put that in the description, which now we're actually putting into our custom SKUs, which is a really good idea. Custom SKUs are awesome. So the only times that we've ever messed up is either A, we put the wrong number in the description, or B, somehow the item didn't get there, which stinks. So just take your time. You know, we're listing 200 items a week. If you do lose an item, it does stink. It really, really does.
Yeah, so always double check when you're done. Like, you can review it, like, you can go to preview before you list it and just make sure it's right. It happens. Like, sometimes you'll get up, forget to go put it in there, and then you get distracted with something else. It just happens.
It does. But we are getting better.
Yeah.
No.
All right, next is top 5. What's sold for 2019 for us? The first thing that we sold was, I think, in April.
Yeah, April.
It was April. It was my dad's vintage Bose speakers. They were like, how big were they?
Shoot.
They were like
We
40
can't really
inches
put
tall.
it in there.
Yeah, who knows? I know it's really big.
It was huge.
But it was a local sale. I think they drove probably about an hour to meet with
We
Matthew.
drove like an hour and a half. I drove from Decatur. It took me about an hour to get everything. But it was worth it. $325 for two.
$325.
That was pretty cool. That was actually the item that made us the most money. It was two 501 main stereo speakers from Bose. Bose. My dad said he got them at a yard sale for like $5. Yeah. So it was worth. Very worth.
Number 2.
The vintage mint colored sewing machine.
Oh, that was a good.
That was really cool. We found that in a unit from. It's actually in one of our videos. It was just in a locked box, and I took a screwdriver and just little jimmy rigged it up and popped it open. The sewing machine did not work. It was really old.
We never tested it.
Really?
Yeah, we never tested it.
Why?
Because we didn't see any point. We thought it was already like it had water damage like on the box. Like it came with the case, like the original case.
Came with the power cord?
I don't know.
We never plugged it in?
No, I never did. I was like, I don't think this thing works. It's all dusty and stuff, but
Well, we said it didn't. Well, we said we don't think it works.
We put untested.
We did. We put untested. Don't know if it works. Sold as is. It sold for $170.
Yeah.
Which is really
We talked
cool.
about it in our last video.
We did. Sorry to bring it up again, but
No,
it fit the category.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, the vintage Pointer brand jacket. It was blanket lined, and we didn't remember what unit it came from, but it was a really heavy jacket. It's a good trucker jacket to keep them all nice and warm when they're driving and being outdoors. And I guess farm people too.
It was made in the USA, right?
Yeah, made in the USA
Made
stuff.
in the USA
for
jackets
vintage
are
clothes sell really well.
Yeah.
This one sold for $100, free shipping. It sold, I think, next day after we listed it.
It did.
So that one was a good one. I really like that one.
And then the second one is the DeWalt brushless 20-volt speed impact wrench battery and charger. It's basically it's like a tire iron, but automatics for your car. You stick it up there and unscrews everything. It was cool. It was used. We got it from a house sale, and it sold for $232, which is pretty good. And then last but not least, my favorite, the electric scooter. That thing was cool. It sold for $200.
I wish we recorded us packaging that.
That was a pain.
It took us 2 hours to package that one item because we didn't want it to get broken, but we had to make our own type of box around it and then wrap it up more to make sure it was secure. And they got it, and they're like, "It's awesome, love it, works great." So
yeah, don't be afraid to be creative with your packaging.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be. You don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our top 5 items that sold. Our top 5 categories is next. First category is shoes.
We always be selling shoes.
Always. If not once a week, at least once every other week, we will sell a pair of shoes.
I would probably say it's mostly activewear shoes, like tennis shoes, and
Nike,
then
Air Jordans,
Nikes.
Adidas.
Yeah, it's mostly activewear shoes that we sell. We sell a good bit of heels, but not as much. We have like watchers on a lot of our heels, but a lot of our activewears just goes. They just go.
Yeah.
So good branded activewear
They
stuff.
go for a pretty good price. Shipping on them is normally not that expensive. You can fit a lot of pairs of shoes in either a mailer or the padded flat rate envelope. So, which the padded flat rate envelope is just $8 shipping, and you can sell the shoes anywhere from like 30 to 50 to some of them goes really high.
Yeah, depending on the condition. Like if it's in not great condition and we tried our best or we don't feel like cleaning it, we'll bid it.
Yeah.
$5, you know.
It's okay to sell shoes on
happens.
eBay anyways that aren't in great condition. Just make sure that you let them know exactly what condition it's in.
Mm-hmm.
Very important, because they can't complain. Basically, if you say, hey, there's a hole here, and you have a picture and you have your finger pointing at it, and then they buy it and they're like, hey, there's a hole here, and I'm like, I said there was a hole there. Okay,
Yeah, you can't really do anything about it.
And definitely, you're gonna have to sell it for way less, which is fine for the most part.
Yeah, if you just want to get rid of it, just get rid of it.
We get our shoes from thrift stores and storage unit auctions. We get them either from a few bucks to less.
Yeah,
maybe
a
$1,
penny.
maybe a penny. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Everybody knows electronics always sell really well, vintage and new.
They do. Electronics sell, but in my opinion, they're the most riskiest thing to sell it well. They're the most profitable by far, in my opinion, but they're also the most risky. I mean, I plugged up a DVD VCR recorder.
Yeah.
Man, it started making popping noises and catching on fire.
It wasn't on fire, but it was smoking.
If it's smoke, there's fire. Okay, it's on fire.
We didn't know what to do with it, so we just put it in the driveway.
Yeah, I didn't know. But
so just make sure you test
careful.
them. If you don't know if it works or not, you can put it untested. That's fine. Vintage ones do sell really well.
Mm-hmm.
Cameras, camcorders, VCRs.
VCRs sell really well.
Mm-hmm. There's like packaging them is tough.
DVD players, speakers, routers. I love routers. If I see a router, man, I always
they sell from like 20 to 50.
They do. Just make sure that you just be honest. If you get something that that you can't test. Sometimes we get items that don't even have the cords for them. So we're like, well, we can't test this. So we will either donate it at that case, or we will, depending on what the value is, we will sell it for, for a lot less, and in the title put untested.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It is. Some of those things sell.
All right, number 3, clothing.
Clothing. Yeah, we sell clothing definitely a few times a week.
Jeans, a lot of jeans,
shirts, jackets.
Mm-hmm. Jackets sell really well, like mostly all year, but of course during winter. But I always try to put them up around like September, and that's a good time to put.
That way, when
up.
winter starts hitting, you'll have a good inventory already there. And you're not just rushing to catch up.
Yeah.
No, I really do love jackets. I do. I think they're the best things.
The next one is DVDs.
DVDs aren't the most profitable, but they're A, easy really to list, and B, really cheap to ship.
Yeah, about $2.75 to ship it, and as long as it's about $6, it's pretty worth it.
And some of them are worth more. Just check the quality of the DVD. That's really, really important.
Or you can watch the movie before you sell it.
Sure.
So just make sure. I mean, if it's brand new in packaging, don't do that, but
Obviously.
Next one is sports memorabilia.
Flies off the shelves. I don't know what it is.
It can be anything, from clothes to like just things.
To pins, to hats,
rings,
scarves, statues, whatever.
We sell it all.
Yeah.
People love sports. It could be hockey, it could be football, soccer.
But some of you look at my expression, I don't really care too much about sports, but hey, good for you if you do. If you do, that's great. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I don't have time like that. Shoot.
I never grew up interested in it. I mean, my dad loves football, but
I think football is the best sport, but more soccer. Anyways. Sports memorabilia.
All right, that's our top 5 categories.
Now,
last but not least.
Shouldn't it be like top 5?
Ah!
First tip. Start part-time. Start slow. It's okay to start slow. It's actually really, really good to start slow. Put up 5 to 10 items. See what happens to them.
Yep.
Watch them.
Do it like weekly. Like you can do 2 things a week if you wanted to. Like you just do it slowly. Like you don't stress yourself out trying to get all this stuff out there. Like just make sure you're doing it. That's the hardest part, is putting it on the internet.
Getting started, setting yourself a little goal, maybe 15 items a week, and that way, and then also set shipping dates. That's really important, because when you start when you do start growing, you're gonna get overwhelmed, and so it's good. We do Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's what we agreed on. Like we agreed to have this on this day. Like, yeah, it's always good.
Yeah, and that way because if you do every day, I mean, maybe when you start off it doesn't matter, because you'll probably just have one item the whole week.
And it's really exciting when you do sell something.
It is really cool.
It's okay to want to send it out immediately. It's fine.
It is.
But if you don't,
later on, set up shipping dates when you first start. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it does matter if you start off slow, because you're going to be like trying to do a whole lot of new things you've never done before. It's kind of good to take your time, because shipping that's actually should have been one of our mistakes. USPS treats packages like footballs. I promise you they do.
That's what he thinks.
They have to. We get comments about these boxes coming back with dents, rips, broken, all sorts of stuff.
And we package it really well.
We do. So you have to just envision that they are going to be doing that. Package them up really well. Tape. use
bubble wrap, plastic
which
bags.
We're going to be getting into that in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Take your time is basically first tip.
Number 2, stay educated.
Watch YouTube.
We watch YouTube videos every day.
They're already doing it.
Oh, wow. You did it. You're doing it.
Yes, no, YouTube is great. It's a fountain of knowledge. A lot of YouTubers will give you different aspects of the business, so I think it's a great idea to watch different ones. But as long as you're watching it, that's great. You're doing a good job. Because educating yourself on new tips, new tricks is really how you're going to stay on top of this business.
It's always good for your mind, too.
Yeah.
You know, like
gets me
learning
excited
every day.
Yeah. No.
Good inspiration. Yeah. Number 3, recycle. When you're starting out early, it's good to recycle things. Like if you order things online, save those boxes, save those padded envelopes. So you can get free stuff from USPS if you go on their website, and we'll link that down below as well if you want.
Yeah.
And I like to reuse stuff. I like to use like the stuff that I buy for like jewelry. I'll use the padded envelopes. And then you can use plastic bags to wrap things up to make sure it's more safe if you don't have bubble wrap.
You can just use Walmart bags.
Yeah.
So for stuffing, you can just use whatever bags you got. If you want to get more boxes, you can go to liquor stores or Dollar General or wherever, get a whole bunch of boxes. Facebook has free boxes all the time. That's where we get a lot of our stuff. A lot of our shipping supplies come free because shipping supplies.
Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you said? Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, definitely recycle. If you get anything from anywhere that looks like it could be used, even if it's just styrofoam, a big old block of styrofoam, and I use that thing all the time, just chip away. We have fabric that we got at a storage unit for free. We use that all the time.
Saran wrap, if you have a lot of it, you can use that.
Saran wrap is great. Saran wrap is great. We'll tell you why in like a later video, not this one.
Yeah, we'll do a shipping video.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, number 4.
Don't invest too quickly. That is a good one. You need to have the money. So, especially for the eBay invoice that comes up every month, when you're first starting out, it's not going to be that hard. It's not going to be that high. But when you first start out, PayPal's going to hold your money.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a really good tip.
So, like, don't try to invest all your money in inventory at first because you need the money to maybe ship, to maybe, like, do other things. So, just make sure you always have a little bit of money just in case something happens that you weren't ready for.
They will happen.
Yes.
It happens to us. Well, it doesn't happen to us a lot now. Now we know what to expect. But when you first start out, PayPal will hold on to your money, I think, for, like, the first 3 months. Well, when I say hold on, they'll wait 2 weeks until the item has already shipped and been delivered to your person before they release the funds. So the first few items that you ship, you're gonna have to put your own money into it. And then when they finally do get released, don't spend the money that gets released because you're gonna have more items to ship, if that makes sense. So definitely when you first start out, I would say for the first 3 months, just hold on to your money. If you want to buy new inventory, use personal money. I would like let the business grow up a little bit and get a nice little snowball effect.
Yeah, but like don't use all your personal money, of course.
No, of course.
Just be smart about it is all.
Really, if you source right, you shouldn't really be spending that much money. Sourcing if sourcing cheaply is how we do, and we get a lot of stuff. We get a lot of good stuff.
A lot of resellers start by garage sales.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the cheapest you can get.
Take
you can
$10.
get cheaper than thrift stores. So
$4.20.
Yeah.
Or go to storage unit auction. I love them.
We love them. They're so fun.
They are. So next one is, that's a good one. Create a set schedule. It is a good one.
We plan our dates by putting them in calendar, like what we're going to do that day, how we're going to do it. Like today we plan to do this video, so that's what we're doing right now. And make sure you set goals to like get things done by a certain date. Like this week we're going to do this, you know, like it doesn't have to be just a day. You can do it for the week. Like this is my weekly goal or whatever.
So like I know one of my friends, she refurbishes furniture. You know, and her goal was to like, you know, do 2 pieces of furniture by the end of the year. It's a good goal. But I think, you know, you should like mark them out. You know what I mean? So like if you actually have a calendar, be like, work on finishing this today. Even though it's like might be like 2 months before the due date, especially stuff like that. So it's just good. Like every day for a whole month. What we do is we schedule at the last week of every month, we schedule the whole month, like what we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Mondays are our sorting days or organizing days or video days. Tuesdays are our listing days, and then Wednesdays we ship and list, and then maybe in the last hour and a half we'll do some office stuff. And then if we're having auctions coming up later on this month, we'll post them in. We're moving this month, we have that posted in. We have our times, we have the time we're going to get finished. I think that's actually it.
But always make sure not to schedule too much in one day. Just give yourself some time to actually think things through about what you're going to be doing that day. What usually do you do every day? I usually eat at this time, or so I should do it. It'll take me 2 hours to do this. If it takes you longer, make sure you give yourself some leeway to be able to finish that if it takes longer than you plan it.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's way better to set a realistic goal than a really high goal that you might be able to make if you just lose sleep over it. But you don't want that. You do not want that. It's not
okay
healthy.
To take
it
your
really
time.
Is. It's okay. You're doing a good job, I'm sure. So
that was everything.
Oh, that was everything. Nice. Cool. Well,
that was our year of 2019. And if you're planning on getting started, best of luck to you. If you have any questions, you can always ask us.
Okay.
We're always still, we're still learning too, so.
We are. It's a process.
Yeah.
And, it's
we'd
a
like to
journey.
know your questions, because, there's always different situations that come up, so we'd like to hear them.
True. Definitely true.
And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
And if you don't, just, give us some constructive criticism down below.
No.
No?
I'm just kidding.
Constructive criticism.
And subscribe.
Yeah, if you want to see more of us, I don't blame you. If you
we're gonna do it. We're gonna make videos whether we have subscribers or not. But
because it's fun, be here. And I know there's 2 or 3 people that like them for some reason, so that kind of makes it feel really good.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. Do you know? You know why?
Yes.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Alright guys, we'll see you next time on the next
guys.
video. The next video will be storage unit.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah.
February 19th?
Mm-hmm.
February 19th. It's going to be a new place. We're going to have a whole new system involved.
And then we're going to probably do a tour of the new place. That will be probably the next video too.
I'm excited.
After the storage unit auction.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool. Bye.
Bye. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about our top 5s of 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's start over again.
Why?
I did this.
That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Some legal actions. You might end up owing more money than you think you would.
Are you okay?
I'm trying really hard to not say.
Just go ahead and say you do things naturally. It's okay.
We might make a video explaining that whole process if you'd like us to. It's really up to them. What did I say? Again?
You said it 3 times.
Oh my god.
Thinking, don't try to fill in the space.
I didn't even realize I'm thinking. Shit. Oh, what if I say oh instead? Is that better?
No, just don't say anything. Just whatever you're trying to think, don't
say it mentally.
Yes.
Say mentally. We might make a video about that whole process if you would like us to. It's not too hard of a process.
You want to try it again?
We don't try to make it.
I can't do it. It's too funny. All right, I'll ignore it now. I got it. I'm used to it. All right, say it.
Okay. So we might make a video for that. We might make a video about that process for you guys in the future.
It's okay.
Now I'm self-conscious of it. Now I hear myself say it. I'm like, oh no.